Hello and welcome. My name's Steve Beckles-Abussier, the speaker with the orange tie. Guys, welcome to the Orange Room. Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to me. I am a motivational speaker. I go to schools, colleges and universities and companies around the UK, around Europe and in the States. I talk about belief systems and overcoming self-defeating habits that hold us back from achieving our goals. I also deliver soft skills training. So it's conflict resolution, sales techniques, communication skills, presentation skills. That's my thing and I just love it. So what's these all about? I've been delivering these now for about I'd say about eight weeks, covering a whole plethora of topics around the brain, setting goals, communication, all of the topics I believe that will help us not just get through this, but get from it, so you actually learn from it. So each of these kind of sessions, I often have something, a little prop, just to kind of give an idea what I'm going to be talking about. But as you see, I have a clock here. And the statement that I want you to bear in mind, which is at the bottom of my video, it says, you can't control your priorities. No, you can't control time, sorry, but you can control your priorities. So it's all down to the sting. Bit dramatic, I know. But it's about the sting. Let me explain. Now, I chose this topic because I think time and managing our time is going to be so important as not just as we come out of the lockdown, but just in situations in life where management of time is essential. If I was to ask you a question, if you were to continue your practices or what you're doing at this present moment in time for the next 5 years, would you have achieved your goal? Now you could ask that question regarding your finances, regarding your health, and regarding your career. Time is really important, and the measurement of time and what you do with your time is very important. I think as Bill Bixby once said, life's not just a measurement of time. Life's a collection of inspiration, experiences, and intensities. And it just gets me thinking about what is actually happening with us and how we organise in our time. So let's look at time. Let's look at the word select, as S. Looking at S.T.I.N.G, select is our first word. So S.T.I.N.G's the acronym, and what we're going to do is look at selecting your time. What do you select and what are you choosing to do? How many times have you chosen to do something and then you actually end up drifting and not focusing? So part of time management, which is what we're doing, is S for select. Anyone heard of rubbernecking? I don't know if you have heard of rubbernecking, but accidents are caused by rubbernecking. Let me explain. You're in your car. There's been an accident on the other side of the road. Rubbernecking is when people slow down to see what's happened on the other side of the road. What they found is 29% of accidents are caused by rubbernecking. Well, how does that happen? Well, what happens is we're looking and observing, we then hit the car in front. Why? Because we weren't focusing on the road where we were going. We were focusing somewhere else. So that story and that thinking of rubbernecking is about realizing you've got to keep your focus. You've got to keep sticking to where you need to go and what you need to achieve. So that's the select, all right? For that's S. The next one is T for time. Manage your time is very important. Let me explain. Get a timer. Set your timer to a time that you believe you're going to do a job. So for example, in my front room, I need to tidy the front room. I believe it'll take me half an hour. I get my timer, which you can get from any of these shops nowadays, timer, and I set the timer not to 30 minutes, because I said half an hour, to 20 minutes. Why? Because when you cut the time down, you're going to be more urgent to get it done. How many times you've got plans to do something, and because you've got loads of times to do it, you kind of sit back and it never gets done. So give yourself a time frame. Once you've got that time frame, bring it in very slightly, because that will inject the urgency to get it done. All right. So it's S.T.I.N.G. I is to ignore distractions. How do you do that? Well, we have on our phone, we have flight mode. We have the ability to turn off the TV, turn off the stereo. Listen, you've just selected what you're going to do. You set the time for when you're going to do it. Now you need to ignore the things that are around you. Okay? Next one is N. And N is no breaks. That's it. No breaks. No breaks. What that means is that focus. Remember, it's what, 20 minutes you set yourself to do it? Just stick to it. Just do it, dare I say. Nike quote. Just do it. Yeah? No breaks. Just keep going. What's that saying by Winston Churchill, which I think I said a couple of weeks ago? If you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop. Just keep going. You can do it. Last one is G, is to give yourself a break. Not a Kit Kat. Well, you can if you want. But don't negate to give yourself a break. Why? Because your brain's always taken the route of least resistance. And so what it does, it wants to be recognised for its achievement. Why? Because then you're likely to do it again. Now that reward could be just maybe sitting down for 5 minutes and just stopping. Or the reward could be, I don't know, listening to one of your tracks on your phone. Yeah. It could be maybe watching a film, whatever. But it's important to give yourself a reward because you deserve it as well. So let's start from the beginning. We have S, select what you're going to do. T, select the time frame in which you're going to do it. Now remember, if you say half an hour, try and take it down to maybe 20 minutes. Make it just a little bit urgent, yeah? I, ignore all of distractions around you. Flight mode of that phone, put it into flight mode, yeah? Just don't be distracted, yeah? N, no breaks. Don't stop. Just keep going. Once you get to the end, it'll be worth it. You'll get a reward because then you have G, give yourself a reward. Guys, that is S.T.I.N.G. I'd like, first of all, to thank everyone for being so supportive. My audio has been out, my kind of DJing thing. So what I've been doing, those are not familiar with the Orange Mix, but I've been putting all of these to tracks, yeah, 80s or 90s music. So it's easy listening as well. I love it. It's my passion. I've just learned, so I'm enjoying doing that. So thank you for that. Big shout for Melanie Harwood and her organisation, who has decided to use my program in up and coming summer programs, which I'm excited about. I'm also moving into coaching a lot more. Now, I've always been a coach, but I really feel, especially from the responses that some people have been giving me, I've moved into that field of coaching. So if you're interested in being coached by the Orange, just send me a message, direct message me, and we can have a chat. So guys, I'm in a great place. I think it's all about, like I always say, not just getting through this, but getting from this. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Guys, take care and speak to you soon.